Hello, everybody. I'm altabiscuit, and this is Mr. Run and Jump, and so is that in the crowd.
Yeah, actually, I was about to say, I think that's actually Mr. Run and Jump right there.
So I'll be doing my best to mimic what Mr. Run and Jump can do here. So I guess we'll just get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Mr. Run and Jump, and I guess air dash, and also roll, I guess. And okay, maybe it can do a little more than run and jump, but it can also be Mr. Run and Jump and die. There is going to be a death happening in this run no matter what, but that's just precision platformers in a nutshell right there. But anyway, how the base mechanics of this game work: you get a double jump, you can wall jump, you can jump off the wall jumps. Whenever I'm highlighted, it means that my double jump is ready to use. You have a lot of free form of movement here, and at least when I first discovered this game, at PAX West last year, they had a speedrun leaderboard timer, and me and a bunch of friends were like, "Well, we gotta get in on that." And the game just feels really great to control. But all we saw was the first level. So when I actually bought the game and got to this level here, that's when I first discovered how much vertical movement there is in this game. And you have a high jump here. And in addition to air dashes and wall climbs and just all sorts of stuff here, you can get all over the place here. And really part of the fun in routing out a lot of these levels was just figuring out how to use all the tools available to you to get through it all. So, yeah, this is the first area, Violet. It's more or less teaching you the basics of the game without too much trouble. Just the long jumps. Frogs, they follow me in every game I play, it seems like, whether it's Octopath or this game. It's just frogs are there to cause problems for me. But okay. Luckily, if you die, you just respawn on the same screen and can just go again. And you just kind of got to roll with the punches in a game like this. You don't want to get sucked into and just getting tilted from dying a bunch. But all right, so this level is a good example later on of how you can maintain momentum through high jumps. Okay. You can see a little bit of it right there, where just a little bit of momentum is conserved when you high jump, and there's going to be a room coming up where that is very evident because there's a cycle I can't make unless I do it exactly like that. And speaking of cycles, all the cycles in the game are on predetermined times, so you can, provided that you execute it the same way, which I would of course always do and never make a mistake whatsoever. You can you can execute it the same way every time. As far as I can tell, there isn't any randomness in this run, so that's where kind of it's pretty rewarding to grind out these levels and get the good times there. You might be noticing my ghost time flying around there too. That's when they introduced that in a later patch. It resulted in my times going down rather significantly because I was getting instant feedback on whether what I was doing was fast or not. So it was a very welcome addition. Plus, it's there to show that, yes, I can run this game in case I make mistakes. But anyway, this The fourth level in every area are the void levels. You may not have seen the void chasing me much yet. You will in the next screen, but the idea is that you don't have much time to stick around. You just got to go. Your momentum is conserved between screens too, but in these void levels, if you die, you can't reset the screen to do certain setups. So you only get one shot at some of them, which most of the screens it doesn't matter that much, but not sure what I was doing there. But yeah, on some of the void screens, you just got the one shot at it and just hope you get it. This level is kind of funny because every level has a time trial score that you can beat. There's silver, gold, and platinum rank. And this level was the hardest one for me to platinum rank by far. It is the tightest of them all. Not sure why this level in particular was that one, but it is definitely no slouch. Okay. If I make random noises while doing some of these platforming, that's normal. There's just going to be a lot of close calls sometimes. Especially as we get into the later levels. Yeah, the blue area starts teaching you some of the more advanced mechanics of the game, like just that you can chain your long jumps into other things, and the shards, which kind of function as collectible coins throughout a level, kind of guide you in that way without telling you directly. Yeah, these are legally distinct thwomps. I don't know what their actual name is, but legally distinct thwomps is what we'll go with. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is where the long jumps and air dashes are really coming in the blue areas. The thing about the thwomps is there isn't really a visual indicator on when they're going to go off. You just kind of got to know. In the blue levels, they're pretty straightforward in what they do, and some of the later ones, they can be a little tricky. Come on. Okay. That last screen took me a very long time to figure out a clean strategy to get through there, and it is very tight to get. All right. Okay. Every stage has these shards that you collect. There's 3 orbs that you can collect in each level to get 100% in the game. One orb you get by collecting all the shards in the level. The other, you can see that red zone to the right there. That's like a challenge room of sorts. There's 3 of those in every level. And the last one is getting the speedrun time trial orb, which you only need to get a silver to get the orb for it. But of course, there's an achievement for getting a platinum in every level. Okay, the blue void level here has quite a few momentum-based tricks, like that you only get one shot at, and this is one of the rooms there. Blink and you'll miss it. You could say that with a lot of screens here. I'd say one of the most challenging things about this game is, like, and really this goes for a lot of precision platformers, but especially this game, is there's just something on every screen that you got to account for. Here, like, I've speedran Mario games before, which, you know, I do love speedrunning Mario games, but some of the levels you can kind of just, you can chill out for a little bit on some of the screens because it's just holding right and pressing A the right a few times and a few things, but there's something going on every screen here, so it's got to keep you on your toes. Oh, I did that too early. All right. So the first two worlds there were more or less teaching you all the mechanics here. The green one is where I'd say the trolling mechanics can start showing up. The thwomps start becoming a bit less predictable. There are these giant chomping enemies that come up, and when you hit a certain area, they come up and eat you after a little bit of time. So a lot of it is just, you just got to know where it is, but you speed along past them, then you won't need to worry about it too much. I'd say of all the worlds, the green ones have some of the more interesting screens and to navigate. Like this next one here took me a bit to figure out. You can see that there are the intended platforms that they have you go through on your first time through, but looking to hit as few platforms as possible here. I do not know where it is. Accidentally got an extra jump in there. So yeah, that's an example of how some of the thwomps may not behave how you expect. A lot of them in green will activate when you're too high close to them, if that makes sense. And there are going to be a few instances like that on the previous screen where they don't. You can kind of just manipulate them into going early and then just move along. Let's try that again. That screen was one of the longest to figure out because once I figured out you could roll down the stairs to get exactly what you want, it's like, oh, we got something here. That's probably the most rewarding thing about just routing games in general. Like, the execution obviously is a big part about speedrunning, but, you know, there's many other aspects to it, the routing. For games that it applies to, the glitch hunting, like, it's definitely a more than just what you see on screen here. Is what you see on the GDQ stage with this game, and really any game, is just the sum of it all. The practice, the execution, finding strategies, just all that kind of stuff. There's always one screen in every run that decides to be the problem in a given run. So the fireflies are an interesting enemy here. They all run on a set pattern, but there's one room in particular here that has a lot of fireflies, and when I saw it for the first time, I'm like, there's got to be a way to get through that wall. You'll see that wall here after this screen, I believe. Yeah, it's after this screen. Right at the top here. It looks very scary, and it still kind of is, but there is a consistent setup to get through it. And when I first saw it there in my casual playthrough, it's like, there's a way to get through it. I am not going under that, that slow section. I don't know if it was intended to be that way to get through, or if they just kind of put it there and it's like, they'll figure it out. So yeah, that thwomp is hiding up there. If you jump up really high, it'll just not activate and kill you. It's just one of those that you gotta know. And I kind of found that by accident one day. Oh, okay. I don't know what those tower-looking enemies are called. They kind of remind me of Daleks from Doctor Who, so that's just kind of what I call them. No. I saw that I lost my double jump by accident, so I knew that jump was going to be a little sketchy. No. This screen is really hard to get through quickly if you don't make it on the first cycle. Also, that skull right there, it is possible to get through it. I have not found a consistent setup for it yet. It's just not something I'm willing to go for in a marathon, or even like most runs, actually. The day that we figure out how to get that consistent is going to save a handful of seconds, which once these levels get to a certain point, shaving off seconds can matter a lot for individual levels. And this is just kind of a victory lap screen. They started adding these in the green levels. They're kind of a nice, you did it kind of thing. All right. Yellow is where things start getting really tough. So these enemies here all go on a set cycle. You can beat the cycle on some of them. There's some times where I'm willing to go for it, and others, like this one, I'll go for it, but but other times it can be really tricky, and you're just better off waiting sometimes. That was a close call by that frog. But yeah, if you are here at PAX West, Atari has a booth where you can, in the main hall, where you can see a lot of the games that they have, and they will have this game there as well, I believe. So just give it a look. It's really fun. Oh. Oof. Some of these rooms really make you exercise patience. No. Sometimes it's just better to, if you didn't get the momentum right in the last screen, is just to reset the screen and get it right instead of trying to force it. Some strategies are just so clean that way that it's just better that way. Okay. Oof, all right. a lot of more and more butt-clenching moments as we go on in this run. God, those two screens there just feel so good to do. All right, and the traditional very long screen at the end of yellow. I didn't touch the wall. So your wall jumps will refresh if you hit the wall or you hug a wall. So that's what I was counting on at the end there. And that's also just part of what feeds into how you can, and it kind of feels like you're flying through a lot of the levels, honestly. I missed it by just a hair there. Yellow 3 is a lot of jumps like this in the first half of the level. You just kind of have to know what to do and just commit it all to memory. During my SGDQ run, this was the level that was my my kryptonite of sorts, so I'm hoping to get revenge on it here today. Hit the red platform by accident, but I will take it. All right, I'm gonna give the quick cycle here one attempt. And on this next one. Whoop. He would just barely make it there. All right, the traditional long screen at the end of yellow. Okay. So far, so good. All right, I got my revenge on it. I'll take that one any day. Okay. I have no idea what my face is looking like during some of those close calls, but I can imagine, like, you know, some of these, like, you know, it looks like I got it through just fine from your perspective, but then in my mind, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay. A little bit of Mega Man-ish falling section here. Well, interesting thing about rolling is if you are rolling, you don't grab onto the walls. So that's just, it doesn't come up too often, but that's probably one of the best examples of that right there. All right, time for the last world. It is red. It is going to throw everything at us at this point. Unsurprisingly, these are where some of the hardest levels of the game are. And I didn't like how that... All right, where's the frog? You know what? We'll just get our momentum back. This screen, there are some like faster ways to get through that part, but you have to wait on this thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much what you do there. That is the opposite of the case in this screen, though. You want to get there as quickly as possible to beat that cycle. I'll say hi to Mr. Frog here, borrow his platform. Okay. Whew. Thank you, thank you. We'll just... Sometimes just better to reset it. You want an example of vertical jump momentum being stored there? That last screen is just a perfect example of that. So the final screen on this level has a really scary part with a thwomp that you want to look like you're landing on top of it, but it will fall if you do it right. I believe this is the level that has a few examples of that prior. Yeah, like right there, you go up high enough, but the one I'm thinking of, like you want to look like you're landing on top of it, and it looks like I should be dying when it happens. So we're about 2 screens away from it. A couple of the red levels introduce screens like this, where it's kind of a single screen puzzle of sorts. You just need to be patient, but there are ways to skip cycles. At least in the 5.3 version of it. All right, here comes the last screen. It is pretty long. Oh! It is spooky every time I do that, even though I know it's gonna work. I just keep thinking, what if it doesn't that time? Okay, Red 3 is by far the hardest level in this run, and aside from the dark levels, probably just the hardest level in general. Wow. Just like every gimmick and every trap that you've seen in the previous levels are all here in some form. It is by far like the ultimate test of what you've learned at this point. I did that. Not how I usually do. I'm glad it paid off. Alright, this is mostly just a vertical section. It's kind of a place to relax a little bit because there isn't too much to worry about here. It's just climbing. All right, the screen after this one is another one of those single screen in cycle ones. There is going to be an opportunity for me to skip a cycle on this next one here. All right, looks like I'm gonna get it. All right. If you do it the intended way, it's usually about 3 cycles, but okay, this is the last screen. You got no time to mess around here. You just gotta go, otherwise you're not gonna make the cycle. Whew. One more level to go. It is definitely no slouch. It is not as hard as 3, but it is definitely tough. And if you're on a good pace run, this one can still still cause problems. Ah. Yeah, this level is almost kind of like just a best of, I guess. It gives every hazard and every mechanic its own room. And it's just everything basically. So this room, I am pretty sure there's a way to make this cycle here. I have tried it before. I've gotten very close, but if it's possible, it is like extremely precise. Okay, that works. Okay. And here's the Victory Lap screen. And time's coming up here when I hit the diamond here. Oop. Let's just skip over their time. All right, well, wow, 32. That's pretty good.
Great job, Alta. Do you have any final shout-outs?
Yeah, just, thanks to Graphite Lab and Atari for this game. It's a lot of fun. Thanks to Studio and Tony for commentating my SGDQ run. And, yeah, just have a great time at PAX, everybody.
And thank you for Mr. Run and Jump back in the audience as well.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to be getting ready for our next run now. Sonic the Hedgehog coming up right after this.